Good morning, third graders. We're here today to review some concepts involving perimeter. I think we struggled a bit with that early in the week, and enough people struggled with it that I thought that it was important that we go over it again. And usually, if that many people struggle with it, it means I just didn't explain it well enough the first time. So let's go over it one more time in a little bit different way, and then do some practice problems. Let's take a look here. I have some examples set up for you that I want to show you and talk through. All right, so as you can see, I have two different rectangles here, and they're each composed of 6 smaller rectangles. And I'm going to put in some measurements here for you. Let's do that in black. So I'm only going to give you the measurement of one rectangle. So let me shade in the one that I'm going to give you right now. I'm only going to shade in. I'm only going to give you the measurement of this one and this one, right? I think that might be part of the misconception that we had earlier this week on Monday's work. So I'm going to say that this is 3. I'm going to say that this is 5. And we'll call those inches. And then I'm going to say that this is also 3 and this is also 5 inches. Okay. So what we had earlier the week, we had a problem where we were asked if these perimeters were the same. And almost our entire class said yes. But I think that we either found area, because in those cases the area was the same, or we just thought that the 3 up here, right here, and the 5 were like measuring the whole length and width, right? But they're not. They're just measuring the length and width of that one rectangle there, the little one inside the bigger one. So what I need to do really is say, well, if that's 3 inches, this is 3 inches, and that's 3 inches. If this is 5 inches, so is the one below it, and the ones across from it, and the ones down here are all 3. I hope you can see those as well. I know I wrote really close to the bottom. And then we can go up here and do the same thing. We can go 3. For the sake of time, I'm not going to label these, but you know that you should. Okay, and now that I have here, I'll draw a line between these two things so we don't get them confused. Now we can find perimeter. What I would do is I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'd say 6 times 3. Here, I'll do this in a different color so we can see that I'm doing my work now. I'd say 6 times 3 inches equals 18 inches. Down here, 6 times 3 inches equals 18 inches. And then I have 5 inches on the other side. So I have 18 plus 18 plus a total of 10. If I take this 5 and that 5 and add them together. 8 and 8 is 16. So I put my 6 in the one place and I carry the 10. 10, 20, 30, 40, and 46 inches for my perimeter. And then I'll change my color once more. And I'll go down to the bottom. And I've already filled in all those labels, but I can say, all right, this side is 5 and 5. That's 5 times 2 equals 10. And over here, 5 times 2 equals 10. So the length of this entire side from there to there is 10 inches, and the length of this side is 10 inches. 3, 3, and 3. 3 sets of 3 inches equals 9 inches, and that would be the case down here as well. So in this case, I have 10 plus 10. I shouldn't have done that plus sign there. Let's do this the right way, Mr. Brunel. 10 plus 10 plus 9 plus 9. 9 and 9 is 18, so we put our 8 in the ones place. We carry the 1. 10, 20, 30. So I have 38 inches, right? So these perimeters are not the same, right? Even though they're made up, they're both made up of 6 of the same size thing, they are not, the perimeter is not the same. Their areas are the same, right? They have the same exact area because they all have 6 of these, 6 of those little rectangles in them. So the space inside them is the same, but the space around the outside, the perimeter, is not equal. And that's something that I want to make sure you understand moving forward, how to do those sort of problems. It's important. I know it takes a little bit of time. Like you have to really think about that, and you might even have to draw this out or label it like I did. But in order to do it correctly, it's important to go through those steps. I want to show you now the work that we're going to do over the next 2 days, the review work. So it's this thing that says, oh wait, I don't think I shared my screen back with you again. Let's try this one more time. There we go. It's this thing. Now you can see it. It says perimeter of polygons. Practice. So you put your name and date there. And then you do tasks like this. So each, down here at the very bottom, you'll see in the speaker notes, it gives you directions for each page, which also are repeated up here. Perimeter is shaded, so you find the ones like with the dark lines around the outside, and then those go in here. Perimeter is not shaded, would go on this side. And then you'll go through and you'll, again, read the directions at the bottom down here, and you'll find the perimeter of these things and drag and drop them to wherever they're supposed to go. I don't know if 26 goes there or not. I haven't done that problem. And you'll do that for a bunch of different problems. This one, they don't give you ones to select from. You have to enter them on your own. So on this one, you need to make copies of your square. So to do that, you can hit the Command C button and then the Command V button. So if you hit Command C, that copies it, and then Command V pastes it. And then you could just keep hitting Command V, right, to get yourself 16. Well, you don't need 16 of them, but to get the right perimeter, you need to get a perimeter of 16, which doesn't mean that you need 16 squares. And so that's how you do it. So Command C copies it, Command V pastes it, and you do that until you have a perimeter of 16. And then you'll fill in your length and width, and you'll write an equation down here. And you're going to keep going through problems similar to that. Some of them already have copies made for you. This one says create a rectangle with the same perimeter. Now, create a rectangle with the same perimeter that's a different rectangle. It should have different dimensions, which it says down here in the directions. This is an important step, making sure you're reading directions. We've talked about that all year long. Now, you're going to get some interesting problems where you have a ruler. And this ruler, I actually want you to use. You can click it and drag it and line the 0 up. Not the end of the ruler, but the actual 0. Notice that the 0 doesn't come right at the end. And you line it up, and then you can say, well, that's 4. And then if you need to spin it, you can grab this thing over here, and you can twist it around. So you click and drag and twist. And you can line your 0 up again. So take a little bit of patience on your part. And you'll be able to figure out the length of that, which is about 3, I would say. Okay, so you're going to use that tool as well to find the perimeter of these different polygons. Again, I'm giving you 2 days to do this. So I'm not asking you to do it all in one day. I know that it's going to take you a little bit of time, but it is important review. I know that's not perfectly straight, but there it is. So you have a bunch of those, as you'll see that I'm clicking through here. And then you'll find more perimeter. Again, these are the ones where you might have a rectangle, and they only give you 2 of the side lengths, and you have to use the property of rectangles to figure out the others. Something similar to lesson 17 that we did on Tuesday, where you have missing sides you have to figure out. And then these ones, you drag check marks. Like if you need to check a box, you can drag a check mark right over to it. And then your last slide here is drag the circle over the correct one. So if the correct answer was A, again, I don't know if it is or isn't, but you drag the circle over that. All right. So again, I'm giving you 2 days to do that. We'll see how far we get in 2 days. If we need more, I'll extend it into next week. So I'll reevaluate on Thursday and see if we need more time on this or not. But it is a good review set. It covers everything that we have gone over so far in perimeter, and it goes over it really well. So I expect you to read the directions carefully and give it your best effort. And let me know if you have any questions.